Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to One Global Movement. Speak with Heart. You might be getting a little bit of noise here. Do you hear me, Sister Yvonne?
I can hear you clearly, very
Okay.
clearly.
You might be getting a little bit of back noise. I am in my car because I am on the farm, at the chicken farm, all dirty and sweaty. But we are determined that no matter what, this show has to go. We're doing it like Sister Yvonne always says, with divine intervention and with spiritual intention. We're not doing it to please anyone, but we're doing it to please these children, to help these children and these women. So I am not the way that I'm supposed to be, but bear with me. And we're going to do this quickly and then so that I can go off and get done before they close the place here. So we are in O-Academy Revolution part 189. And I want to thank you all so much because for people to be able to be here every day and to hear all the noise, the background noise, I took my car further away from the building, but still, my windows are open and you're going to get some noise. But thank you guys so much. And thanks to Mr. Ash Mufare again and again for bringing us here together. And we are able to do this from wherever we can and with what we have. Also, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Sister Yvonne, for everything because it takes that one person to be able to set the stage. Otherwise, a lot of times I think that I will fail in starting this show if you don't come early. So thank you so much for being there before time. So what is the theme then for today? What is the difference between your job and your work according to the greatest book of wisdom? What is the difference between your job versus your work according to the greatest book of wisdom? And we're just going to carry out a discussion without the music today. And Sister Yvonne, when it's about time or right on time, I will want to leave so that I can go concentrate. Because if we don't look for this money, these kids are suffering and they don't know where to
Now,
go.
they're suffering now and you want it now. Yes.
Yes, now. So
Yes.
now, what is a job? I will start with our famous quotes. I sometimes just formulate some funny quotes here. A
Yeah.
job is a task, but work is a mission.
Amen.
Job is a task, but your work is a mission. At
Yes.
One Global Movement, we don't just perform jobs. We
Mm-mm.
embrace the work that shapes destinies and transforms lives, the lives
Yes.
of children, young people, and women. A job is what you do for income.
Yeah.
Work is what you do for impact.
Yes.
What we're doing here is doing it for impact.
Mm-hmm.
One Global Movement is where passion meets purpose,
Mm.
turning
Yeah.
every effort into a step towards a global change. I didn't prepare for this well because of what we are doing. Melanie is here. Let me bring Melanie in. Thank you so much, Sister Melanie. I'm at the farm, the chicken farm. I'm just holding the computer on my hand. You will hear some background noise. I am dirty and all sweaty, but we need to keep moving. We need to sell those chickens to raise money to do what we
Yes.
need to do for these children. So we're going to get done on time. We carry out our conversations as usual. I'm not going to be presenting anything. So we just carry out our conversations
Yes.
so that I can
Yes.
rush back in there and get things done before they close. So
Yes.
jobs may fill your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs may fill your bank account, but work fills souls. They
Yes.
fill hearts. At One Global Movement, our work is the heartbeat of a brighter future for women, children, and young people. A job is about responsibilities. Work is about possibilities. That is
Yes.
what work is. It is
Yes.
about possibilities. One Global Movement, therefore, empowers children, empowers us to turn every responsibility into an opportunity for a lasting change.
Yes.
Again, in a job, you you clock in and clock out.
Mm-hmm.
Clock in and then you clock out. But in work, you live and breathe your purpose.
You do.
One Global Movement is where we unite to make every moment of work count towards a global vision. This is very, very important. I'm just going to be reading a lot of things today because I don't have that time. I didn't prepare well. like I just said. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. And you guys start contributing in the chat. We have our two powerful ladies here, and we throw the ball to the floor. Let us just carry out our conversations as always from different perspectives, and we keep moving on. Thank you so much for the support that two of you are giving me, particularly you, Sister Yvonne, who is always there, and you, Melanie, who is doing it in the background, regardless of whatever happens. So thank you so much. So let's keep going.
Oh, from me or from Sister Melanie? Do you have something?
Whoever is ready.
Okay, so I just have a few quotes. Something, I was doing my research, and I know you know this gentleman, Mr. Miles Monroe, right?
That's my man.
I know. And I just happened to come up on a very short video of his, and it was talking exactly about this. It was about 13 minutes, not very long. Yes. But he was saying, a job is the work that you do, and it's a skill that you have, right? You can be trained for that. And you can get fired from this job, but your work, you never retire from it. There's no way about retiring in the Bible. Mm-hmm. It's a gift you carry with you all through the life. When you're gray-headed, and it doesn't matter, because it's serving others.
Yes.
It's being God's hands, his feet, his eyes. So it says there's life beyond and outside your job. When we work, we are working as unto the Lord. Take your directions from him. Have an excellent spirit, like both Daniel and Joseph in the Bible. They were promoted for their excellent spirit, no matter what they were doing.
Yes.
Anywhere they found themselves, they worked as to the Lord. Anybody can do the jobs that they're doing, but when you work as to the Lord, you're making a difference in the earth.
Yes.
The key to excellence is to become a problem solver, he says, Mr. Monroe. He said, solve problems, and the money will come as a result. That's what he said. So, Sister Melanie, please jump in.
Yes, thank you very much for this important topic, Dr. Yvonne.
Yes.
Job is a position, something that pays you. And most of the time you find that when you are going your job, you don't care whether you are giving results or no. What you are looking at is your pay at the end of the month. You're looking at your salary. But work is something that we have to do with wisdom.
Yes.
And what is wisdom? When you have the ability to think, to act, utilizing knowledge, experience, understanding, and common sense and insight, you do well your work. You do it with determination because you feel that you want to serve others. There is a good example that I found when I was looking at searching what is wisdom when you are doing your work. They say that wisdom is also about knowing when and how to use your knowledge, being able to put situation in perspective, and how to impart it to others. For example, a mother who is raising his child. Maybe you have you may be very knowledgeable about how you raise your baby after maybe reading some books, after maybe attending some classes, after maybe talking to wise friends and family members. You get experience and you know how you raise your children, your baby. That is knowledge. That you are doing your work. But when it comes to job is something else that you do. You do just for gaining, for filling your bank accounts, for getting money. So this is an important topic because it brought me in my mind that we need to take this work very seriously when we are addressing ourselves to children and women. We should not take it as a job, but we should make it, we should have the resilience, the love to work with them, to have compassion with them, to show them that really we care for them. That is the work that even God asks us. When we care for one another, you are doing your work with wisdom. So we need to separate job and work because it is very different depending on how people perceive it, depending on how people sees it. We need to acquire wisdom to be able to do well our work.
Yes, thank you so much. This is so wonderful and so beautiful. I am really so grateful because when we listen to one another speak, we feel it. We know right deep inside of us that we are working, and not just working for ourselves or working to raise our families or just working for these children. It is something that we have been called to do. And nobody can escape from this. To escape from it or to try to escape from it, it only brings misery in the world.
It does.
And this is where we are today, because people they've been unable to find their purpose and to really put that purpose into action. And therefore, they veered off course. When they veered off course, the children veered off course as well. And they start having misery, emotional disturbances, they start having anxiety, and a lot of things come. But thank God that with us here in One Global Movement, being brought together by Mr. Ashmufara, we are doing something already for the world. And I will give you an example. Where I am now, I'm far away from where I live, about an hour, on a farm, chicken farm. Because I keep asking myself every day, is it just enough to sit and talk? No. I don't have to wait for an office job with a tie. No. But what can I do with the knowledge that God has given me so that we can push this One Global Movement forward? I said I was trained, brought up to do a lot of things. If this one doesn't work, another thing will work. So me and my daughter, which you guys know, we took off very early to come to the chicken farm here to buy chickens, because I was doing this before, raising money to help other people. And here we brought donuts, because in order to put smiles on the faces of people, food is that one thing that you can bond with. And we brought bottles of water to share. And people are eating. And I saw this, they said, but what are you doing? You're different. Now I talk to them about One Global Movement. And they are very happy. The man of the farm is very happy. They said, next time I bring my 501c certification so they can know what to do when I buy the chickens. Now I saw a young man. The young man I said, how are you, young man? I'm interested in young people. How old are you? He says 23. I said, you are my son. My son is 23. And he is here in dirt doing all the work. And that really filled my heart. And I was so happy. And I said, how just fortunate it is and coincidental that we are talking about a job and work today. So in the context of the greatest book of wisdom, which many refer to as the Bible, the difference between a job and work can be understood as in so many ways, depending on our purpose and what we have been called to do. A job is often seen as a specific task or employment position that someone undertakes to earn a living. It is a means of providing for oneself and one's family, and maybe sometimes in the community. A job can be temporary. A job unstable. And it may or may not align with one's passion or purpose in life.
That's right.
In the greatest book of wisdom, jobs are seen as important for survival, but they are not the ultimate source of fulfillment in our lives.
That's right.
And for example, in the Bible, the concept of job can be seen in the work that Adam was given in the Garden of Eden in Genesis 2:15, where he was placed to work it and take care of it. This was a specific task or role given to him by the Creator. But this one was given by the Creator, and we must obey. But what is work then? Work, according to the greatest book of wisdom, is a broader concept, a bigger concept. That's why it embodies purpose. It embodies your whole being, your soul, your heart, and your spirit. It embodies everything. It's a broader concept that goes beyond just a job. Like you said, Miles Monroe, a job, you don't have a choice. You are being controlled. You don't have the freedom of time. You cannot do, you have to do according, otherwise you will not get paid. And you can be fired at any time.
Anytime.
It doesn't have a purpose. You're just working to survive. So in the concept or the idea of fulfilling God's promise in the Bible, according to the job in one's life or a purpose in one's life, work is connected to one's calling. Work is connected to one's calling, passion, and the use of talents and gifts to serve others and glorify God with those that you serve and what you use to serve others. This is very, very important for us to know.
Yes.
So it is more about the mission and purpose that God has for each and every one of us, each individual. That our children have it. But if you and I, all of us here, if we don't find our purpose and start working at our purpose, you do not expect the children to even know what their purpose is. So God has for each individual. You have it, everybody has it, but we need to sit with ourselves and begin to question ourselves. What is it that God has called me to do? Am I doing my purpose? If you find yourself being irritated, being angry, being jealous, gossiping, or just wanting to depend on others, then you have a problem. You must not have found your purpose. Our children will go through all those emotions because they have not seen us working our purpose, and they too would not know how to find theirs. But here in One Global Movement, we want to make sure that we work our purpose like we are doing here, put it into action and words, and therefore extend it to these women and children all over the world. It is more about the mission and purpose, like we say, that God has for each individual, and it can be seen in various forms. We have various talents here on the stage here in the chat with our children. God gave it. You and I can have one and the same purpose, but we can implement it differently. And that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. So it's so important, not just in paid employment. A job is paid. Your schedule, you clock in and you clock out. But with your work, it's a purpose and a mission that you have been called to do. For example, in the Bible often speaks of work in the context of serving God's will and purpose.
That's right.
For example, in Colossians 3:23-24, and like I say, we are not here trying to impose any religion on anybody. But
okay, let me read something quickly, sister, because I sent you something, but I don't think you had time to see it. You know me, I'm always trying to be very proactive, right?
Yes.
So I just want to read something quickly. It's a little disclaimer. It says, this platform offers practical tools and strategies based on our experiences. While our Christian faith, we're talking about us, has shaped our worldview, the content is designed to be universally applicable.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. If you can read that all the time or most of the time, or at the beginning of the week, that will really help. Well, thank you so much. This is what we are talking about, purpose. She came up with that because she is working her purpose and her mission. And that is why, to protect these children, we must have this disclaimer that she just read. These are examples. They are simple, but these are the most precious examples in the world. So thank you so much. For instance, in the Bible often speaks of work in the context of serving God's will and purpose. And in Colossians 3:23-24, it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord.
Yes.
You are serving the Lord. This reflects the idea that work is ultimately about fulfilling God's purpose for your life. And if we don't do that as parents, adults, and caregivers, our children will not be able to find their own purpose in life. So we go to give the advantages of a job. Sometimes people talk about stability and security of a job. Is it really stable and secured? There is nothing like that at a job, because you can be fired at any time. You can be fired at any time. And then, what are the rules and responsibilities of a job? You are expected to do certain things in a certain way, not according to the way that God reveals them to you. So it's a lot of things. So if you guys can jump in and say something, that would be so nice, you know.
Well, sister, unless sister Melanie wants to worry, because I don't know what your internet is like. Is it good today? Your internet is good today, so I can go ahead. I just want to quickly talk about the Apostle Paul. Remember him? He's so powerful, right? And his work was totally different before he became a Christ follower. And also, he's a tent maker. He always worked at a job, but that was not his calling. That had nothing to do with his calling. He worked to keep that, but his calling was now to become an apostle for the Gentiles. And his work for God, his work, not his job, put him in danger at every turn. But it's a mission, as you say. he had to go. It's a calling. He had to go with that. And that's what you say, purpose. I read somewhere that people can survive a long time without food and water and everything, but not having a purpose, which is basically a hope. And that's how I feel. When I get up each morning, I like to know that I have something that is purposeful to go and do, right? And that is what I think drives us when we know the difference between job and work.
Certainly.
Go ahead, sister.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you very much, Sister Yvonne. The difference should be clear in the mind of each and every one of us. Sister Yvonne has talked about wisdom from the Word of God, from the Bible. And we have the inspiration from Solomon. Solomon was a man of wisdom. We know what he said in Proverbs. So in these platforms, we are not here to teach the Word of God because we are not religious. We don't bring religion here. We are looking at children worldwide from all the corner of the world. And we touch the heart of each and everyone who is listening us to this platform. Because whatever we speak here is something that can change the heart and the mind of any listener who is listening to us. Absolutely. Solomon has said in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6, that true wisdom begins when you learn to trust in God with all your heart and learn not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. Let me tell you one thing. The moment we know that we are not for our own, the moment we understand that whatever we do is because of God who gives his life, the moment we know that when we put ourselves into God's hands, whatever we do is possible, we can achieve to anything. We can achieve to any goal. Because in our days, before people used to say that the sky is the limit. Today, the sky is no longer the limit because you can fly and reach wherever you want to go. So we have to put God first in our lives, the God of impossibilities, the God who formed us, who created us, and who instructs us today to have love to one another. Without love, we cannot take ahead these children. So when we invite God to lead us, I'm telling you, we will do this work with patience, with commitment. We do this work knowing where we are going. We do this work. We will be able to set goals, to put plans in place, and also to teach our children to do the same. So Job himself, we all know Job. We know what Job went in. Job was a man who was the richest man in the world. But we know the trouble that this man faced. Job himself said that God himself is wise. God is wise. He said that the fear of the Lord is the source of wisdom. So the moment we know we have God, we have wisdom, and this wisdom will lead us to do our work properly.
Yes. Thank you so much. This is such a beautiful thing that we are speaking this way. And I'm really so happy. You know, when we're talking about God, the purpose and our wisdom and everything, people, when you go out for a walk, you are still worshiping God, just so you know. When you go to the lake to swim, or you're just staring at the waves of the water, you are worshiping God, because in your mind, you're lost in a distant place that you don't even know where you are. And you begin to question, how does this come about? And no one has ever gotten an answer. I have never gotten an answer. The only answer that I got was, I am grateful that I am experiencing this in my life and it is helping me. Your God can just be like maybe refusing to eat a cow because that's who you pass through. Stones are created by God. Some people say when you worship stones, they are idol. Who says so? Whatever you do, you take to worship God. That is your own way, because God says, look for good ways to worship me. That is why here is no religion. There is no religion here. There is no particular thing here. But we want to make sure that the difference between a job and a work is very clear. With a job, you have defined rules and responsibility. Then they talk about career growth. They don't talk about growing in your purpose. They talk about growing in your career. They talk about social interaction. And then they talk about work-life balance. You have to balance your family life with work life. But whereas with the work, you have to balance yourself and your family is number one. Yourself and your family is the number one God or church, if I may say so. So that is so important that we know that. And there's a lot of things. You are driven with a passion. with
Yes.
with work
Passion.
you're driven. The passion. Look at Mr. Ash Mufare. Look at what he has gone through. He has gone through a lot that if it was some people the one kill themselves, they commit suicide. But
Absolutely.
he knows that his purpose to serve God is too great. And he
Yes.
continues to
Yes.
make sure that things go well and he will succeed. And the same
Mm-hmm.
here in One Global Movement. I don't see anything that I can be doing or we can be doing without doing what we are doing. Considering
Exactly.
the moral decadence of the world is going down, and our
Mm-hmm.
children are those that are going down. And
Mm-hmm.
because of the power mongers, the greed in the world, and selfishness and lack of empathy, our children are suffering a lot, and we all must step in because if you want to be blessed abundantly with an overflow, we must step in and do this together. Because when we do it together, it becomes what can I say? It becomes the weight becomes so light on each and every one, and it
Mm-hmm.
just becomes like a way of life, and we all are happy, everybody else is happy. So this is
Right.
so important that we do it. And when you're doing this, when you're doing your work, you make a lot of mistakes, but God knows your heart. He knows that this is a mistake. It is a mistake that is going to help to keep growing and moving to where you want to be. So this is such a beautiful thing that we can sit here and talk about. But let us keep talking, and then we'll wind up quickly so that I can go back to the slaughterhouse and do my
Mm-hmm.
chickens.
Slaughterhouse. It says, it says your work life is your job, but your life's work is the work. And that's all in caps, right?
Yes,
The
Yes.
work is
Yes.
the work is the call on your life to glorify God through every part of you. That's what you're talking about, the entire being, including not limited to your gifts, your interests, your failures, your friendships, responsibilities, character, and even your job. It can be all integrated in that. Say
yes,
you're a peacemaker or you're a good confidant or whatever. That can be done on your job, but it can be done on any job. You know what I mean? God has given
yes,
you a gift of that, of being empathic, right?
yes,
You
yes,
know when somebody needs a shoulder to cry on. That's a gift. But you can take that anywhere. No job has any moratorium on that. You can take it anywhere and be that person that God has gifted you to be. That is your work,
yep,
right?
yep, yep.
So
Very
that is
important.
what I like about that. It says the gifts of God are without repentance. He doesn't call them back. He's given them to you, and they're meant to serve you as long as you live, just
Yes,
so long as you find them. And as you said, you must know what they are so you can be an example for your children, model it for them, because they're going to have something different from you, most unlikely, right?
yep,
Your gift is not necessarily, you don't pass them down necessarily, but they should know that they have one as well. And then they find it, and then we go and we build a better world.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Melanie, do you have anything? Or you want me to move on?
Yes, what I want to add in is I saw something that was defining job and work, and they
Yes.
said that job refers to a specific activity that one does to earn a living, synonymous with profession or occupation. However, work refers to any activity, whether it's mental or physical. All jobs can be considered work, but not all works is a job.
There you go.
Works
That's
can be used as a noun or a verb, while job is always a noun. That is
noun.
a clear difference
Yes.
because the work is something you put in all your mind. It defines specific activities that involves achievements, while
Yes,
job is something that is limited. It can end. It
yes,
Yes.
can end. It is not permanent. It is not continual.
That's
But
right.
work is something where you have traced your line of what you want to achieve to where you want to go. So this
Amen.
difference is very clear, and that's
Mhm.
why we have to ask ourselves, where are
Which
we
one is
going
which one is it?
in this
Yes.
one global movement? Where are we going? What
yes,
are
Yes.
we doing here?
yep,
Yep.
We have the mission here, vision and mission, but are we really able to carry out this mission and vision? Do we see what we are doing? Do we understand what we are doing? Do we have hope that we will achieve our target, whatever we want to do? It is in that perspective that we need to look at and to be specific in whatever we are doing. And
Yes.
we call our listeners, people in the panel here, each member of one global movement. Let us hold our hands together, because when we are together, nothing is impossible. And together we can do more. We can do more.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys can see I keep shaking. I'm holding this thing in the car with my hand, but I'm determined to do it.
I know.
We're going to give some advantages, more advantages of work. When we talk about work, it has that flexibility, and flexibility comes with other factors because you don't get stuck. When you are working with a purpose, you're working to serve God with whatever thing you're doing. There is that flexibility. Nothing is written in stones. Even when you make mistakes, even when you decided that I'm not going to do it today, and then you come back tomorrow and you can still do it. So there is that internal and eternal and spiritual flexibility that we have, and let us utilize it. Work can refer to any productive activity, not just a job. Freelancers, entrepreneurs, writers, speakers, servants. We all are servants anyway. Each and every one of us are servants.
Absolutely.
So, and you earn gigs. Often you have more control over what you are doing, over your schedule and the type of work that you want to do if you consider all these categories. And then you have variety and autonomy with work. There is that variety and autonomy. Work, especially in non-traditional forms, can offer more variety in tasks and greater autonomy over how things are done. What I'm doing here is that kind of a thing, variety and autonomy. Now I have the variety to plant the watermelons and raise money from it. We design the t-shirts and raise money from one global movement. I still have the opportunity to come to the farm here to get chickens to sell so that we raise that money. And then I am right now in a car, still speaking. What else can I ask for from God? I have everything around, and as well as all of us here, but we need to open our minds and our spirit to be able to see those things. Because a lot of time we complain when the things are right there, but because we've been so trained to see things outside instead of seeing inside of ourselves. So work, especially in non-traditional forms, can offer a variety in tasks and greater autonomy over how you do your things. All of us, we have that. And then what is work? Work is advantageous because it is driven, it is passion driven. It is driven with a passion. Work can be more aligned with personal interest and passion, and especially if it involves creative or entrepreneurial or spiritual or servitude, whatever you can do. This is what we are talking about here. And then it has a potential for a higher earning. You don't just earn money. First of all, you earn love, you earn peace of mind, you earn your health, because when you earn that peace, health, and love, the other things like the money, the apples that we are talking about, they start pouring down on you because you've taken the time to work on your passion, on your purpose, and those things will come. And then personal fulfillment is the best. Why do you think we do this, what we're doing here? Even under hot weather or under the conditions, like me. If you look at my body, if you are here, you will see blood. There are flies all over here because I am in a slaughterhouse. I have to make those chickens. There are flies here. That's why you see I keep doing like this. They are going. Hey, guess what? I have $1 million
dollar habits.
with $1 million habit, I can be able to do this or do the other one, and it's still the same purpose. So personal and I am happy doing it. You know, I'm very happy. Work that aligns with your personal values and goals can offer a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose beyond what a traditional job might provide. We all know that too. And that is why we see our audience, they are here. They are contributing. Even when they are not here, or if you look at on social media, they are pushing one global movement to the entire world. They are doing it. I see it. And they are helping because 3 of us here cannot do it, or 4 of us, we can do it. And they are helping. That is why they know that it fulfills them. It fulfills their heart and their soul. And that's what we are doing here. So it gives value to each and every one of us here. Otherwise, we will not be doing it. And in so doing, Children, God is going to prolong the lives of children that are placed in situations that is not of their own making, so that we will get to reach to these children. And we call upon everyone. Let's keep doing it little by little, please. We can change this world if we just come together and do the work that God has called us to do. We can change the entire world and do it regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our background, our orientation, regardless of our spiritual fulfillment, whatever. We can do these things. We just have to keep doing it. Work is the greatest and most surest way of building generational wealth. When you build generational wealth and you passed into eternity, I take, for instance, President Nelson Mandela. I take, for instance, Dr. Miles Monroe. I take, for instance, Martin Luther King Jr. I take, for instance, Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes.
You think these people were perfect 100%? No, but they did the best thing. They fulfilled their purposes in life. I take little Malala. Malala is our daughter. She's still here. A lot of things but we can do this. Let us keep greed. Let us keep egos. Let us keep comparison and all of those things aside and look forward to serving these children, because a lot of children, as we speak, they are going hungry. They are crying. They are dying. They are hungry. We need to do something. And thank you guys so much for being with us here. Freedom of time, thought, and execution provides a lot of things when we are doing our work, the work that God has called us to do. So if you guys have anything, you can say it. Otherwise, let's appreciate our audience. I'm sorry, my camera.
Go ahead, sister. I know you're pressed for time, so please go ahead and start. Because
all right. Sorry, those flies don't leave me alone.
I know they love you, but you don't love them, I hope.
No, I love them still. God created them, but they should leave me alone. They should go to their own show.
You can love them from afar, please.
Yes, that's what I want, but they keep coming. All right. Hello, Brother Levi. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday. Happy Thankful Thursday to you, kings and queens of #One Global Movement.
Thank you, brother.
And greetings everyone, and welcome again to today's intriguing topic of discussion. Please share your comments in the chat. We enjoy hearing from you. Thank you so much, sister. And greetings, King Levi, Mama Bolo, and thank you for support for One Global Movement, OGM. All right, let's go down quickly here. And the topic for today: what is the difference between your job versus your work according to the greatest book of wisdom? And this topic gives us time to go sit down and really think.
Yes.
Am I really doing my work?
Yes.
Or I'm doing a job?
Yep.
And of course, we don't condemn a job totally, because you have to start from somewhere. You start from somewhere, and then it takes you to fulfill your purpose. You have to eat, you have to pay bills, you have to educate your children or yourself. We start from somewhere, but know that that job is what is going to pave the way for you to carry out your work, which is your purpose in life. So that is very important.
And as I said earlier, sister, you can integrate your calling right where you are in your work. How you perform your work can be how you perform your job. You can be fulfilling the work that God has called you to do. Yes. You know, He has called you to comfort people, to be, as I said, empathetic, to be a good listening ear. Serve. Your work from God is generated to serve, and He can make you to do that anywhere, on the street, in the palace. It doesn't matter. This is who you are, and this is what you're bringing.
Yes, so and this is so important. You make that difference. I love it, because you know, we always say at my job, we used to have a prayer group at the job. We say, let us take our job as our calling.
There you go. There you go.
Just serve regardless of what comes your way. When you come to work, ready to use your job to serve. Yes. And things begin to change for you. Things begin to change. Yes. And my work, nobody can shut my mouth or shut my or take away my pen, because it was all about One Global Movement. What I want to do for the children, I did it for the people that I was writing their programs for. So it is just so important. You take your job as your work, your calling. Just exactly like she says, then you must have found your purpose in it. Whatever you do, whatever, the scripture says it, whatever you do it with your heart and your soul. That means
Mm-hmm.
find your purpose. Don't minimize anything. Don't even curse the employer for any reason.
No, don't. If the job doesn't suit you, you can go somewhere else because jobs do end, right?
Yes,
It doesn't
yes,
serve you anymore. But your calling, you're gonna do to the excellence. I like that word. Right wherever you go, it doesn't matter whether you're cleaning the streets. It does not matter.
yes,
You're called to do something good for God. You do it. That
yes.
smile that you talk about,
I'm so happy
to
because
cheer somebody up as they're walking along. You know what I mean?
yes, I'm so
You
happy
do it.
with this one global movement. You don't know because
Yeah,
those of us who are here, even in the audience, it looks like
yeah.
God handpicked and sent together.
Yes, he has called them here.
Because
Yes,
if you think about the fact that we are 1.4 million founding member account in non-passive, and there
yes,
are even more, and Mr. Ashmufara brought us together, you'll be
yeah,
like, you know, children, young people, women, they are the core, the heart of every society.
yes,
And you'll be like, it's just a good thing for people to come together into this one global movement and make things happen. But they
yeah.
are not yet mentally and emotionally, they are not ready for this.
That's right.
They're
That's
not
right.
ready. And not because they're not good people. They are not ready. And until they are ready, then they
Yeah,
can join. And that
yeah.
is why we say here that you don't have to come here if you're not feeling well,
No,
or
you
you don't
don't.
even feel as to do it. Come here knowing that I am going to perform my work. I am going here for a purpose. I am
Yeah,
going to do what we've been called to do, just like Mr. Ashmi Father is doing. That
exactly.
man is an exception. He,
Yes, he is.
he is an exception. Look
Yes,
at, he admits that I have been bad people have done things. He admits
yes,
it, but
yes,
I
he
am not
does.
giving up. And he
Yes,
knows that when you have been called to fulfill your purpose, no matter what happens to you, you can never give up. You
no,
can
you
never
can't.
give up.
Yes, it's
And
it's 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 like you're on autopilot. I sent you a shorter version of what he said. I don't know if you had a time to see it. Did you go into your
I
WhatsApp?
started watching and then I was happy. Then I had to leave quickly.
Okay, all right.
I will finish
Later
it,
on
but
then.
thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can even do that and put it on our YouTube if we can
If,
follow
yeah,
the link to do
if you
that.
can upload it, yeah.
Yes. So this is so important for us to know. And when the moment you start doing your work, you'll be so happy with yourself. Some of those emotional disturbances, they start just going away without you even
Yes,
knowing. And then
exactly.
when it start coming from sources that you don't even know,
That's right.
if
It's
you
true.
see what is happening in the One Global Movement Garden, I have not seen those kind of watermelons.
There
They
you
are
go.
so big. I'm like, what is this? And they're still growing. I said, I've never seen this, even going to the circle, but I don't see anything like that. I'm like, is it? They sell watermelons for $9, $10. Am I going to sell this one for $30
You
or what?
can't. You can't. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. And just here, Melanie, I was maybe before you came at the chicken farm here, I brought donuts because you have to feed the children, you have to feed the hungry before you can say anything. So I brought it here and I told them I've not been here for a long time because I was busy with One Global Movement. And they asked me to explain. I explained everything. They're happy to subscribe. And they all talk about the moral decadence of the world, especially our society now. And they
Mm-hmm.
said, next time, bring your registration number with the government for One Global Movement so we can give you the chicken at a discount because you're helping to serve society. Isn't that amazing?
Very amazing.
So it's a beautiful thing. So you can retire from a job but never from work, which is a gift from the
Yes.
creator to help him serve others in the earth. Thank you. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, Kushal, for being with us today. We highly appreciate you. Hashtag One Global Movement, where hashtag we speak with heart. Thank you so much to our managing director for being here today. I am just going to be mentioning names so I can get off from here, please. And
Yes.
go. And we have Manik, sir. Thank you so much. Main Sankar. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We highly appreciate you. We have Cynthia Daring. How are you, sister? Thank you so much for joining us today. We highly appreciate you as well. And we have Hash Later Topo. Thank you so much, sister, for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you as well. And then we have
Baba Nad.
Babavad Mohani, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us. And of course, Nancy is here with us today. We highly appreciate you as well. The sun is getting into my eyes. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you almost finished, I hope.
Yes, I'm almost finished. And then we have our brother, Srijajana. Thank you so much for being with us here today. We have N.N. Patel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have, yes, Hash later again. Thank you so much. And let me go. We have David Otto. Thank you so much, David, for joining us here today. If you are new, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified for when we go live. And also put your big thumbs up, please, so that we can help, and YouTube can also use that to help us. Thank you. We have Maria Jones. Thank you so much, Maria. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us here today. And we highly appreciate you. We have Akash Agrawal. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you. And then we have Bikash Bangla. I think you are new here. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And keep inspiring and encouraging other people to join, because we want to reach every child, every mother, and every family in the world. Thank you so much. And let me go down here. I'm really sorry that I have to hurry. And we have Praveen Kumar, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us again today. We highly appreciate you. And let me go here. We have Cassie. Cassie, thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you. And of course, I know that my brothers and sisters have been welcoming everyone. I just want to mention the name. We have Maxie P. Smith here today. Thank you so much for being with us again. We highly appreciate you. We have Yusuf Adu as well with us today. We have Deepak Kumar Sahar. Thank you so much for joining us today. And then our brother says, only money can return you nothing if you have no specific purpose to use it. If you really work for a purpose and try to fulfill it with your heart, only you can succeed. That makes you truly happy. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Yes, very true. Thank you so much. And I think this is the end. I'm really sorry I have to go. So I'm sweating a lot. I need to go drink some water and continue the work here. And together, we are getting somewhere. Keep praying for children of the world, for all of us at One Global Movement. We will get somewhere by the grace of God. So, amen. Melanie, I am waiting on you. I know that you're working so hard a lot. There are a lot of information that I need to get from you. So we keep moving. We need to move and move.
And I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you one of these days because I have some updates.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sister Yvonne, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, big sis.
I will. Thank you
for sending you in our midst. I wish you good health, long life, and the continuous wisdom to be able to be the one of the mentors. You refuse it, but you are, because that's what you're doing. That's exactly what
you're doing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.